to give you my preseason top 25 for the 2025 season. Here's my criteria on this. This is not a projection. This is strictly in a vacuum, all right? So you'll notice now, if you've seen our 12-team college football playoff predictions, it's not going to mirror what I think our top 25 teams are in the country right now. This is a what are you right now conversation. Not grading you against your schedule, not grading you on what I think you're going to accomplish. This is what are you right now. So I kind of split this top 25 into different groups, if you will. Like 25 through 19 for me is just, quite frankly, teams that I like the trend of, teams I feel good about. At 25, I like Georgia Tech a lot. I do, and I know they won 7 games last year, but they are number 26 in returning production. Brent, run the ball key. I think he is going to see a jump even in what they were last year to this year. I love their backfield. Haynes King, if he's healthy, one of the most efficient quarterbacks in college football, and what he does on the ground for you. Jamal Haynes is essentially a 1,000-yard back for you at Georgia Tech. I love Georgia Tech this year. I love the internal stuff. I love the intangibles. To me, they're number 25. Now, another team I like at 24. I got USC. And I don't know how many preseason polls are going to have USC in there, but if you're actually watching the games themselves, you're putting USC in your top 25. The reason being, USC fans, hang on. We're going to say this stat one more time. All their losses tied or leading in the fourth quarter, except for one, which was Notre Dame. Notre Dame played for a national championship. They were driving to tie the game against Notre Dame in the fourth quarter. With that out of the way, what does it tell you about USC? Talented. More importantly, they're close. They're close. They're right there. I don't think they're going to take a step back this year. I think they'll be a pop team this year. Say what you want about USC, about Lincoln Riley and defense and this and that. I think he's got his quarterback this year. A more Lincoln Riley brand quarterback this year, I should say. I think the defense will be on par, potentially better than last year. I like USC. Got him at 24. At number 23, I got SMU. This is kind of a Rhett Lashley hat tip, if you will. I think it'd be irresponsible to not rank SMU after they made the college football playoff last year. Now, a lot of close games, sure. It didn't always look the most dominant out of the Stang a season ago. But here's the thing. Rhett Lashley, since getting to SMU, it's up and to the right. They win the American Athletic their last year in it. They play for the ACC their first year in it. I don't know how it's going to look. I don't know exactly how it's going to happen, but I'm trusting Rhett Lashley's got a top 25 squad right now in Dallas. Number 22, another team that I like / just kind of trust the trend of, Texas Tech. Like they could be like Thanos in the Big 12. Like we're all talking about Utah bouncing back in Kansas State and Iowa State and all that, and it's all well and good, but like if Texas Tech hit on this transfer portal haul the way that I think they believe they hit on this transfer portal haul, they could be the most talented team in the Big 12 that we maybe aren't the most familiar with, and they could run roughshod over that conference. Now, it's a big if, but for me, I'd feel irresponsible after what they were a year ago and what they bring back and who their head coach is and their portal haul. Top 25 team to me. Got Texas Tech at number 22 in our preseason top 25. Now, staying in the Big 12, call me a homer if you want. I got Baylor at number 21. Number 11 in returning production. Man, Baylor's quarterback, Sawyer Robertson, one of the best quarterbacks that I think is not being talked about right now. 2, he wasn't even your starter this time a year ago. It was DeQuan Finn, who's now at Miami of Ohio. So giving him a full offseason, a full spring as being your starting quarterback truly, with all the pieces back around him, with an offense that was dynamic a year ago, a running back that was a 1,000-yard back as a freshman. Like they got a lot of pieces there in Waco. I'm trusting Dave Aranda on the defensive side to get it right. I think Baylor, as of right now, is a top 25 team. I got them at number 21. Now, similar to what we said about SMU, there's kind of a benefit of the doubt that I think you have to give to Ole Miss because they're like in the hundreds in returning production. I got them at number 20 on our our top 25 right now ahead of the college football season. Lane Kiffin, just every single year, man, just goes to the portal, gets what he needs to get, and you can essentially bake on their portal class being effective enough to have Ole Miss be one of the better teams in the SEC. Now, I pair that with what I saw from Austin Simmons, and those of y'all that watch this show, you've heard me wax poetic about that Mona Lisa drive from Austin Simmons against Georgia. Goes out there, It's a gross game. It's like soggy at this point in time. A little bit of rain, a little bit of precipitation. Jackson Dart goes out of the game. You're down 7-0. Lane Kiffin says, Austin, sling that thing. Like 4 or 5 passes, downfield passes, mind you. That, to me, in small sample size, smallest sample size you can have, I trust Austin Simmons. I trust Lane Kiffin to get that roster right. I think Ole Miss, don't know how it looks exactly, but I think they're a top 25 team ahead of next season. Number 19, this is one that I just truly don't know what to do with. This is one that Kate and I actually had a good conversation before the show about. I had Indiana everywhere from unranked to number 25 exactly. I'm gonna finish this discussion with Indiana at number 19 as it pertains to the Hoosiers. I still don't totally know what to do with them, but they bring back a lot on the offensive line. They bring back one of the best receivers in the Big Ten in Surratt, Fernando Mendoza. The NFL people like him, so I'm going to go ahead and trust that. The schedule is more difficult, but I'm not ranking them off the schedule. I'm ranking them off of what they are right now. So I would feel a little bit foolish to not put a Curt Cignetti football team in the top 25. 19 feels like a fair spot for them right now. So based on what they are internally, based on that roster, I have Indiana at 19 ahead of the college football season. So those are all teams that I would put in like the I like category. I like the way they're trending category, just kind of a vibes thing. Now, 18 through 10 on our top 25 are all teams that I could see being in the college football playoff. Now, I don't have all these teams predicted to make the college football playoff, but it wouldn't shock me if any one of these teams found their way into that top 12 at the end of the season. At number 18, I got Tennessee. How much do you really need from whoever plays quarterback for you? Because talking to folks in Knoxville, they're like, defense is going to be good again. Top 5, we'll see. But they think they're like 12 to 14 deep on the D-line. They feel good about that linebacker group. Like they trust the defense. If Josh Heupel can do what Josh Heupel has done since getting to Tennessee, which is call a offense that caters to his personnel and allows them to win football games, Tennessee's going to be a problem yet again. So I like Tennessee. I like the way they're built. If Joey Aguilar, who I think is going to start for you, ends up like grasping that system and making that his offense, and Tennessee has some receivers that can separate, Tennessee is going to be knocking on the door of the college football playoff. But again, not projecting it right now. Right now, I'm going to say Tennessee is number 18 in America. At number 17, I got Michigan. The roster math here is just pretty simple to see. I mean, I hate to just keep rehashing the same talking points for Michigan, but it just feels like you have to do this. Last year, you beat Ohio State, and you beat Alabama. Ohio State won the national championship. Alabama was on the front doorstep of the college football playoff, got turned away at the last second. You beat both those teams with, me playing quarterback for you. No knock on Davis Warren or Alex Orge or anybody out there, but like that's the reality. You did not have anything substantial at quarterback to work with. Now you have the number 1 player in America set to start for you, I believe, week 1 as a true freshman, and Bryce Underwood. Defense, you lose some draft picks, still going to be real good. Running back room, different than what it's been in the past, still going to be real good. Offensive line, we'll see exactly what they look like. But again, going back to this whole point, if you were what you were a year ago with no quarterback play, essentially, what are you with the most talented high school player in all of America set to start for you at quarterback in 2025? You'd have to think pretty good. So Michigan is number 17 to me. Number 16, man, I could see Oklahoma party crashing. I really could. I just love the questions we're asking about them. Like, nobody's asking any really major questions around the defense. Yeah, you wonder what the secondary is a little bit. Sure, you wonder, what Brent Venables is going to do with the side of that football, or that side of the football now truly being his to call. They feel good about the defense. So the question becomes, what's the offense? How far can they take you? Now, if you've watched this show, I am as pro John Mateer as it gets. I think he's going to have a ridiculous year. I think him and Ben Arbuckle being together going over to Oklahoma does not get talked about nearly enough. I think the weapons are really good. Oklahoma, I don't know if they're going to be a college football playoff team. I would not want to play them in the month of November. I love how they're built. I'll leave it at that. I didn't even mention Jaden Knox. I love how they're built. At number 15, I got Illinois. Top 3 returning production with your quarterback Luke Altmaier from a team that won 10 games a year ago with that bowl win. The Brett Bielema identity is going to be there. They're going to be tough. They're going to be physical. They're going to be all those things. How do you handle the new spotlight you have if you're Illinois is my question? Because, again, I'm not projecting, in this segment when it comes to what Illinois is going to be as a top 15 team. Right now, they're a top 15 team. They're a college football playoff team, though. If they can handle that spotlight and deal with other teams now circling them when they look at their schedule during the preseason. Like Illinois, you probably, in previous years counted as a tough game. Maybe in some years counted them as a potential win. Illinois is getting everyone's attention now in 2025. How do you handle that uncharted territory for you if you're the Illini? We'll see. Number 14, I got Miami. This is the best roster Marta Cristobal has had since getting to Coral Gables. You're saying, JD, there's no Cam Ward. 100% true. But Carson Beck is there. Carson Beck, some people believe, is going to be a first-round pick next year. This time a year ago, he was projected to be the number 1 overall pick in the NFL draft, and what happened at Georgia. The big excitement with Miami, though, outside of Carson Beck, is like the middle of the roster is just better depth, better direction on defense with that new staff coming over and some portal pieces. If Miami can have a professional approach to every single game, they will find their way into the college football playoff. It's pretty fair to say they're going to be the second most talented team in the ACC just from the jump. To me, they're a top 15 team ahead of this upcoming season. Now, Florida is at number 13. Take the schedule out of it, because we always grade Florida against their schedule, and they got this many teams to play, and they play this many teams in the month of October. Like, I hear all that. Just take that out of it. If you just look at Florida from a pure roster perspective, there's not a lot to not like. Now, the DJ Lagway thing is a part of why I have them at 13 and not higher, quite honestly. But like the roster itself, it's a top 15 roster. Line of scrimmage, both sides, awesome. Receiver room, feel great about. Dallas Wilson, you hope can get back healthy sooner rather than later, but you feel good about what you have over there. Running back room, feel great there. Depth in that front seven at the linebacker spot. Secondary, like you go down the line here. There's not a lot of question marks from a roster level with Florida. Now you got to go do it, and maybe you're getting the benefit of the doubt because of how you finished last year, whether that's right or wrong. Take the schedule out of it. Florida's a top 15 team in college football. Now, I think the best roster in college football, as it pertains to the Big 12, is Arizona State. Top 2 returning production. Sam Leavitt's back, the best quarterback in the Big 12 for my money. You lose Cam Scadaboo, which there's no way to, undersell that, but you went to Army, of all places, and got Kanye Udo to transfer in and be your running back. 1,000-yard rusher a year ago at Army, double-digit touchdowns. I don't know that he's Cam Scadaboo, but I don't think you'll have this massive drop-off in production with what that run game is. So can they be a college football playoff team again in 2025? Wouldn't it shock me? Wouldn't it shock me in the slightest? At number 11, I got South Carolina. Dude, if South Carolina makes the playoff and I didn't pick them to make the playoff, I'll be so sad. My heart wants South Carolina a lot higher, just to be fully transparent with you right now. Lenoris Sellers could carry this team to the playoff. He's that special. I think he'll be a Heisman finalist. The defense, I think, will be good, but how good relative to what they were last year? Now, some of this is just Shane Beamer's going to find a way to make it work. If that's how you feel about South Carolina, more power to you. I'm curious to see what does it look like for Dylan Stewart not having Kennard on the other side. If he just wrecking shop again, then maybe South Carolina is a playoff team. But still waiting to see what they are here in 2025 from a matchup perspective on every down, but I love the pieces. I love Shane Beamer. South Carolina to me at number 11. Now, number 10, Texas A&M. Can you give me a definitive reason about this year's team why they shouldn't be ranked where I have them ranked? I saw some people had them in the teens, some people had them in the 20s, and that's fine. Is there a reason, though, not dating back to the Jimbo Fisher era or the Kevin Sumlin era as to why you wouldn't be in on A&M in 2025? Because for me, I see a quarterback that's got a lot of juice, gives them a real identity on offense. I see a receiver room that's trending up. I see a defensive side of the ball where I just trust Mike Elko. I see a culture that's taking the right steps for the first time in what feels like forever in College Station. I love A&M. I love the returning production. And to me, they're a top 10 team in college football right now. I feel great saying that. Now, this tier, 9 through 1, are teams we've talked a lot about on the show already, so we'll kind of go through them quickly. But these are all teams that I think could win a national championship. This is the national title tier, if you will. All these teams, I have in my college football playoff. All these teams, I think, are a tweak here, a tweak there from winning the whole thing in 2025. Now, at number 9, I got Alabama. The tweak for them is, do you have a true plus at quarterback? Because we gave you the fall camp intel segment earlier on in this full show. Any question based on talent for Alabama outside of quarterback? Even at quarterback, you're talking about a potential 5-star guy for you starting in Ty Simpson, right? How much do you progress in doing things Kalen DeBoer's way? If Ty Simpson is a dude, plays like a 5-star, and you take those steps culturally and are more consistent, I mean, Alabama is going to be a pain, and they could win a national championship. At number 8, I got Georgia. Feels very weird having Georgia at 8. Just kind of how I see things right now. You have questions around Georgia, which are fair, but at the same time, you're sort of answering that question for yourself in the back of your mind. Like, you have to ask this question in Georgia, but you're not 110% sure it's like all the way a valid question as it pertains to what they're going to be in 2025. How consistent is the defense is my question. It's Kirby Smart. It's Glenn Schumann. How good's the offense? Like, yeah, we'll see with Gunnar Stockton, but like, they went out and got a bunch of pieces on the perimeter. You'd like to think the offensive line's not going to stay what it was last year. You think there'll be kind of a sense of urgency there. So you don't really question the talent with Georgia. 8, again, it just feels wrong, but it's where I have them right now. And I'll be surprised if Georgia doesn't finish higher than that here in 25, just to be honest with y'all. At number 7, this is my national title pick in LSU. So, again, not a prediction is this top 25. This is purely how I see these teams right now. My thing with LSU as to why I have them at 7 and why I don't have them at number 1 when I picked them to win the national championship, this is an ingredients thing for me. Okay, like you kind of go to a restaurant and you see what's in a certain sandwich. I went to Little Hats in Franklin, Tennessee. Shout out Little Hats. They do a great job. I'm looking at the ingredients. I don't know what that sandwich is actually going to taste like. I'm going off the menu here, brother. Now, the menu tells me top 2 portal class, returning quarterback that threw 4,000 yards last year. Tells me they got great pieces on defense in year 2 under Blake Baker. I like the ingredients, but until I see it, until I get that sandwich in my hands, I can't do anything for you as it pertains to putting them higher in the rankings. So LSU at 7, again, my national title pick. I hope I haven't been unclear there. At number 6, I got Notre Dame. I think it is, going back to what we said about Alabama, kind of a quarterback discussion for them, right? Is it C.J. Carr? Is it Kenny Minchie? And if it's either one of those guys, how much of an answer do you have at quarterback? Because the longer this thing goes, I think if you're a Notre Dame fan, you're hoping a little bit that you have what you need at quarterback. Outside of that, it's a national title caliber roster. Like Jeremiah Love's the best back in college football. Defense is loaded. Offensive line is loaded. There's not a lot of questions around Notre Dame outside of that. Oregon, kind of a similar thought process with them. The difference is you know who their quarterback's going to be in Dante Moore, also a 5-star guy in his own right. Less proven, not less talented. It's the Dane Lanning culture. It's the fact that you have 2 top 10, top 5 portal classes on this roster paired with 3 top 10 recruiting classes. Less names you know, more names you're going to get to know, and Oregon, I have them in a top 5 tier right now ahead of this college football season. At number 4, I got Penn State. Very much this is the year feel to them, doesn't it? Right? Like Drew Aller's back, backfield's back, a lot of pieces on defense back. Go get Jim Knowles, who is arguably the best defensive coordinator in college football. Was the fix those portal receivers? If it was, then, I mean, we're going to have confetti falling here in the studio because our producer, Caden Smith, picked him on the whole thing, and he'd be right. So if that happens, I mean, it's going to be a very, very good vibe, both here and in Happy Valley. Number 3, I got Clemson. To me, they're the most sure thing in college football. I just think we know the most about them. Number 1 returning production, year 3 starting quarterback in Cade Klubnik in the same system. The receivers are now where we've begged them to be at if you're a Clemson fan. Just like not a whole lot of notes around Clemson. It's just like, can they actually go translate from that talent level over to the field and go win those big games? Not in the month of November or December. Like, can you go win those big games in January? Because that was what those old Clemson teams had. Talent, yes, check that box for this Clemson team. Do you have the winning traits to go get it done? No real way to know at this point in time, but for me, Clemson at number 3 feels like a fair spot to put them ahead of 2025, who won the ACC a year ago and bring just about everybody back. Number 2, the defending national champions. They're not defending anything in Ryan Day's mind. They are in go-get-it mode. Ohio State at number 2. It'd be dumb to question them just purely based on talent. We'll see who the quarterback is, but like you got the 2 best players in college football. Jeremiah Smith, Caleb Downs. New pieces at the coordinator spot, sure. But honestly, that part of it makes me like them more because there's still that hunger there. So Ohio State at 2, no real questions there, Your Honor. At number 1, right now, the Texas Longhorns have the best combo of what I value the most. Continuity on the staff, roster talent, line of scrimmage, proven commodities across the board on the defensive side that you get excited about from Colin Simmons to Anthony Hill. Like, I think we trust the quarterback in Arch Manning. I trust what he's going to be more in the month of November than September. But right now, still the raw ingredients of a 5-star quarterback in Arch Manning for Texas, paired with what they've been and what they've built that program to be over the course of the last several years since Arch's been there. Texas, for me, is the number 1 team in college football ahead of the 2025 season. So again, not a projection, not a prediction, but just how we see these teams right now in the landscape of the 2025 season.